Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. I still have the Shadowland Tarot on the tarot table, and I'm still reading about Prince Harry and his problems in terms of anger, jealousy, begrudgment, all of that. The reason I'm doing this today is because we've been hearing things, and particularly from the Daily Mail, although we've also been hearing things on social media and TV and whatever about Harry and his poor behavior. But the Daily Mail, for some reason, and I might investigate why they're doing this at some stage, for some reason is replaying past events in the royal, archives, shall we say. And one of them that they have been telling us about, reminding us about, is how Harry had a little whinge to Jack Brooksbank at the coronation. Coronation, of course, he arrived in that rather crumpled Dior suit. No sign of Meghan Markle. She decided to stay home and bake a birthday cake for Archie. He sauntered in with a sneer on his face, was parked in the third row next to Jack Brooksbank and famously behind Princess Anne's red plume. Interesting seating arrangement. And lip readers have caught what he was saying to Jack Brooksbank, lots of mutter. And amongst the mutter, I'm fed up with the way they treat me. And he's talking about his family. They don't care, he said. Now, this is said by someone who'd written Spare, accusing his family of all kinds of terrible things, recorded a documentary with Meghan, the Netflix documentary, again saying terrible things about his family. Anytime he could take pot shots at the royal family, he was only too happy to do so. Didn't seem to perceive that they might have very good reason for treating him in a rather standoffish way, and all the rest of it, not rolling out the red carpet, not letting Harry be crowned in that moment and making him sit in the third row instead, while Prince William was busy sort of doing official duties at the coronation. So we're going to have a look at this situation a little bit with the Shadowland Tarot. We're going to ask Harry's relationship with his family. Before Meghan, after Meghan. We're going to ask what he feels they don't care about. What's he fed up about? What don't they care about? We're going to ask what he wanted them to do. We know he was intent on an apology at some stage. He seems to have let that go. But I want to know, was it that famous apology? So what was he so aggrieved about? And what did he want them to do? How did Jack Brooksbank feel about the situation then in regard to Harry? How did he perceive Harry then? Was he sorry for him? Did he agree with him? He was very diplomatic in his responses. They're sort of chopped off responses, so you can't really tell what he was saying. How does Jack Brooksbank feel about Harry now? We've heard that the friendship, the very close friendship with Princess Eugenie is no more after she was seen hugging Piers Morgan outside the pub that he owns in London. That was the end of that. Apparently there's a card that's gone the wrong way, I think. Never mind, doesn't matter. Let's get to it. So we're going to ask about Jack Brooksbank. We're going to ask if Harry's ever going to be capable of realizing his own hypocrisy. I ask that question often because things change, people change, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. And then I'm going to ask how dangerous he is to the British royal family with this level of resentment that he can be sitting at his father's coronation and having a good old whinge about them. They don't care, and I'm fed up with them. And that sneer on his face was really quite scary. He really has got, in my opinion, to look quite ugly. We'll talk about that underlying energy after I've reminded you it's tarot for entertainment purposes, all my opinion, just energy reading that I do here. Disclaimer in the box below. Underlying energy. The Death card, Scorpio card. So King Charles, his energy is in this card, the coronation. It's in reverse. It means change and endings, radical endings, transformation, going into the underworld and being, it's like a metamorphosis. you go in one thing and you come out the other. That's the Death card. It's in reverse. This is an unchanging energy. Something that should end and should change and should transform refuses. That's Harry. Harry refuses to change. He refuses to take accountability for the way things are and to see things differently and all of that. So there's that energy. And of course, it's built-in energy of the coronation as well, with the king's energy there too. So let's see the situation that we are dealing with. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is all about Meghan. That's the heart of the reading, that card. It's about Meghan. It's about their treatment of Meghan. We'll check that later on. But this is a central issue, and we know it's a central issue in Harry's life because of that SMS he sent to Dr. Sophie Chanduka, bullying her allegedly and saying, why haven't you come out in support of Meghan? Explain yourself. It's kind of a who do you think you are energy or tone to it. Very offensive, very hurtful if you're trying to save the charity that he's messed up. Let's say allegedly. So it's about Meghan, the Queen of Wands, and I guess they weren't fawning enough over the prospect of having her at the coronation. Can you imagine her being there and the energy of that moment? So we're going to look at Harry first of all and his relationship with his family in the past and then now. Before Megxit and after Megxit, or Meghan the Chariot, that was the past. Forward motion, energized, doing things. I think quite happy to be out and about doing things for the royal family as Prince Harry. Quite liked it. It's ambitious, it's driven, it's focused, it's got purpose, the Chariot. Yes, it's William's energy as well. Major arcana for Cancer, but that's not what's really coming through for me. This is him actually liking it, getting out there, doing stuff, having fun. I mean, it was a fun gig, let's face it. I think we'd all quite like to have the Prince Harry gig in the royal family where you can behave like a bit of a brat, the joker. Nobody's really going to hold you to account for anything. You don't have to be the sensible one. You can fool around and everybody loves you because you're fooling around. So that's how the Chariot is reading for me. He liked it, but he was ambitious. He was ambitious. He did think that he should be king. Let's not forget that. The Chariot is a very ambitious card. Always wants the top job. How is it now? How was it then at the coronation? How is it now? Whatever universe wants to tell us. I've got the 9 of Cups. It's interesting because that's a wish fulfillment card. That's indulgent energy. My sense of that energy, because the word indulgent is coming up a lot today in these readings on Harry and his problems, my opinion, his problems, is that he still thinks that he should be indulged. With that 9 of Cups. Give me what I want. I want my IPP status back. Give it to me. I want tons of money. Give it to me. I want half in, half out. Give it to me. I want apology for my wife. Give it to me. I want half the Duchy of Cornwall. Give it to me. That's how it's reading for me. It's quite strange energy. That's how it's reading. My opinion. So, that's that. How about what he was fed up about? What was he fed up about? We've got the Queen of Wands on the table already, but let's explore it a bit further. What can we find out from the cards? And I've got the 5 of Wands in reverse again. That card showed up in the previous reading, and I had quite a lot to say about it then, so I won't say quite so much now. But the 5 of Wands is the competition card within a group, a family. So it's competing against each other, testing each other, and when it's in reverse, being overly aggressive, overly competitive, playing a bit dirty, elbowing other people out the way, regardless of your family relationships and feelings and stuff like that. So being too aggressive, being too ambitious, and of course that chimes very well with the Queen of Wands energy over there at the heart of this reading. He got too aggressive in his demands and the royal family weren't meeting them. as I said here, all those things that I believe personally he wanted, he was expressing, and they weren't responding. There was a lot of grey rocking going on very successfully. And so the behaviour in Montecito got worse and worse, more bratish, more attention seeking as they were ignored. Again, my opinion. And I've made this ultimatum and they're ignoring me. How dare they? I'm fed up with them. They don't care. I've written a whole book expressing my grievances and they don't care. They haven't responded. So what did he want them to do? That's him. That's the Hermit. He wanted them. The Hermit, of course, for those who don't know, Major Arcana for Virgo, that's Prince Harry. His card. But it's in reverse. Upright, it's being in a sort of retreat, being alone, isolated, taking time out to think and do some self-examination and find your own truth and all that stuff. In reverse, he wanted them to bow down to him. Yes, you're right, because it's Hermit energy in reverse, which is in its shadow aspect. I'm using the Shadowland Tarot. That's how I read these reversals and these royal readings quite often. So he wanted them to bow down to him and say, yes, you're right. And we'll do whatever you want us to. But it's also, interestingly, a coming back in energy, coming out of isolation. He wanted them to bring him back in. He wanted them, he believed, that if he expressed all these grievances, the royal family would roll over and submit and say, absolutely, you're right, we wronged you all these years by treating you like the spare, when you are the most important people in the royal family, you and your lovely wife, the Queen of Wands. And so we're going to do everything in our power to welcome you back and give you prime position on the balcony and wherever, and you can have half in, half out. You can have your IPP status. You can come back as working royals when it suits you, only for the fun jobs, not for the shaking hands and the rain jobs. You don't want to do that because we know that you want to monetize yourselves, and your wife wants to be a famous actress, influencer, politician, president of the United States, whatever. We've been through a whole cycle of things that she had her eye on when she went back to California. It's that. He wanted back in. He believed that they would let him back in. After all his whinging, he truly, I feel, in the energy, he truly believed it. And so when they didn't say, oh, sorry, old chap, here's the balcony, you can stand on the balcony anytime and wave at the adoring crowds, he couldn't believe it. It hurt him that they were so cold and indifferent to the most popular royal. Anyway, lots to say about that card. Jack Brooksbank, let's get to him. How did he feel in the moment about Harry? What did he think in the moment? There's Knight of Pentacles, that's Harry. So I think he felt sorry for Harry. I think he saw things from Harry's point of view. That's the Knight of Pentacles. Loyal and steadfast, the Earth sign prince, that's Harry, the Virgo. Loyal and steadfast, just trying to make money, just trying to sort his life out, just trying to get his finances into good shape, just trying to do the right thing, always been a steady supporter of the royal family, always shown up and done the right thing whenever he's been asked. And they're treating him badly because he's the good guy here, the Knight of Pentacles. It's very much a good guy. You can count on him, you can trust him, you can rely on him. And he's just on his little slow journey on the road to riches, slowly. Quite understood it, quite got what Harry was whinging about. What does Jack Brooksbank think now? Does he think differently, or does he think the same? Got the Magician, which is interesting. He's looking at it and he's thinking, there's a whole lot of spin going on here, and whoever can spin the best is going to win. And I'm sure he's very well versed in spin on an industrial scale, given the family he's married into. So he's not looking at Harry and thinking negative thoughts still. He's looking and thinking, this is a PR game. This is about spin. Whoever is better at it is going to win. the magician. Manifests, creates, manipulates. So, interesting. So I think he's still a bit Team Harry. That's how I'm reading this. Harry seems to be the one that's flounced off and won't speak to Eugenie anymore after she was seen with Piers Morgan in London. Harry was the one who said, I can't trust you, and it's the end of us. So I don't think that the same feeling is coming from Jack Brooksbank. I was going to read on Princess Eugenie and this whole situation, but just couldn't find it in myself to do it. Okay, let's move on. Harry, any sense of hypocrisy? Will it ever occur to him that maybe the royal family had some reason for grey rocking him? Got the Two of Cups, only if there's a divorce, a split. That's when the penny might finally drop. And so that's the Two of Cups in reverse, splitsville, divorce, separation, whatever, however they go about it, is, yeah, then, when she's not whispering in his ear all the time, then there's a chance that he can be deprogrammed, maybe is the right word. So, how dangerous is he to the royal family with all this anger and all this sense of grievance in him? Is he dangerous to them? Has he still got things that he could do? I've got the Knight of Cups. So two things came at me at the same time. He might be dangerous to Prince William, but I think I would have got it in the reverse if that was truly a threat to Prince William, who is a Knight of Cups currently. Water sign Prince. More I'm getting that he actually wants to kiss and make up. He tried very hard yesterday. We saw this whole PR thing happening, unfolding in front of us. He'd hired someone in the UK to make it happen. There was all kinds of articles out, and he did trot back to the UK a couple of times. He tried his very, very best to ingratiate himself, saw his opportunity with the King's illness, the Princess of Wales' illness, but he went about it all wrong. There was no apology. There was no apology to the royals. There was no apology to the British public. It was just, I'm coming back. Make way, here I come. And that failed dismally, and so that disappeared, and now he's back in Montecito filming Meghan for her Instagram reels, allegedly. He still wants back in. And I think the reason he wants back in is there might be some familial feeling there that he might miss them. He's very lonely. He's very sorry for himself at the moment, by all accounts, shall we say, allegedly. But I think he's also worried that when Prince William accedes to the throne, he's out and there's no way back for him. So some sense of self-awareness possible, but only when she's out the picture. She's very much in the picture because she is the center of this reading. And that is the reading, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.